Hey, it's another episode of the Knudson Garden Update. We got some interesting things going on in the garden right now. It is cold. It is the end of December, but here in Las Vegas, that's okay. We can still grow things, we can still harvest things, and we can still do some interesting things in the garden. So let's take a look at what's going on. All right, one of the things that's going on right now is our lima bean vines are starting to die in the cold, and it's very sad, but they are leaving us with a gift of lima beans. And we've got some green ones that still need to dry out. We could eat them green, but I think we're gonna hold on to them and let them dry up a bit. So you can see we've got some beans that are green, some beans that are kind of starting to get brown. And if we look in the rest of the bean patch, we've got some other beans that are nice and dry and ready to harvest. So we'll just take a couple of these. We'll take this one here and this one here, and we'll just kind of twist them off. And we'll get this third one here and just pop that off. All right. Then what we can do is we can just crack them open, and there's our lima bean. All right, and we can do that with the other pods here. Come over here and sit down. Take a look at our lima beans. We got a nice lima bean pod here. We got a couple more here. Maybe we'll crack this open and take a look. Got a couple of nice lima beans growing in that pod. All right. And we got another lima bean pod here. Let's take a look and see. Yep. So we'll just kind of pop these out. Take a look at them. They're looking good. Nice thing about letting your lima beans dry out is that they keep longer, right? You can pick them green, you can eat them green, they're fine green. But if you wait till they dry out, you can wait and have them weeks, months, even years in the future, okay? Dry beans keep for a long, long time. They're really nutritious, high in fiber, high in calcium, high in iron, really good. So our lima beans have been very productive. It's taken them a long time to start getting ready to harvest, but we're starting to see more and more of these dry pods. And maybe when we come back after break, we'll be ready to harvest them all, and we'll have a great big pot of lima beans to add to our great big pot of cream peas or cow peas or field peas, or whatever you want to call them. All right, so very cool with our lima bean. We got a big bush over here, and then we've got a big productive patch over here as well, where again we have lots of pods that are dry and ready to harvest. Very cool. Another thing that's really interesting that's going on right now, we've got a bed here that we've cleared out, and we've got these little plastic they look like little houses. They're rose shelters that we've installed here. We've planted this bed with lettuce and carrots. You guys like lettuce and carrots. So we planted the whole bed with lettuce and carrots, but we're only putting these rose shelters over half the beds, so that we can see whether having a rose shelter like this that provides a greenhouse effect that traps the heat over the plants will actually result in bigger, stronger plants in a shorter amount of time. So we're going to compare lettuce and carrots planted here on this half without the shelter to lettuce and carrots planted over here with the shelters. So very cool, rose shelters. All right, the last thing we're going to talk about is our banana tree. And it is that time of the year when the banana tree starts to get really grumpy starts to die off. And we want to see if maybe we can keep it just a little bit happier in these cold winter nights when it gets down below freezing here in Las Vegas and the leaves start to die, right? Turn brown. So we're doing a couple of things. One, we've got this banana tree that we have wrapped up both in some plant protection cloth as well as with Christmas tree lights. All right, these are incandescent Christmas tree lights, and we've wrapped them around our banana trees to maybe provide some warmth at night so that hopefully our banana trees survive. We'll see if this works. I'm not sure it will, but we're going to try it out. It may be that the leaves are what signals the plant to go dormant. But our little bananas inside of our structure here are not quite ripe. So I want to see if maybe we can help them along until they get ripe. We're always trying something with these banana trees, so maybe this will work. The big question though is, what is going to power the Christmas tree lights? Could we plug them in a classroom and run an extension cord all the way across here? Yes, but that's not nearly as interesting as what we've got going on here. We have, and we bought this with our Samsung winnings, a portable solar panel that we have wired into a compatible battery so that the solar panel charges the battery during the day, and then we've got a little timer on the battery so that at night, when it starts getting cold, the energy we've stored in the battery will run through the cables in the Christmas tree lights and provide just a little warmth to maybe help our banana trees be just a little bit happier when it's so cold so that they don't die back as much in the wintertime. We are definitely going to have some dieback, but just like in previous years, it'll come roaring back, and possibly this year with all the new pups we're going to get in the spring, this whole bed is probably going to be full of bananas, which will be amazing. So we've got our banana tree with our solar panels and our Christmas lights and our battery and the plant protection cloth. So we'll see. We're trying something different here, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But we'll find out. That's the cool thing about science. We always find out what works and what doesn't. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is this plant that's very green and happy now, even though the lima bean is starting to die. This plant, which has these bunches of really pretty white flowers, is quite happy. It's attracting bees and it's doing well. So what could this plant be? This is actually a carrot plant, believe it or not. We leave some carrots into flower every year for a few reasons. One, because they're pretty and they attract pollinators, and we're always happy to give our bees something to eat over the winter. And two, it's nice to just have the seeds, to see the whole life cycle of the carrot plant as it grows and matures and flowers and ultimately produces seeds. So really cool carrot plant here. We've got one variety. This is an orange colored carrot plant. And then we've got another carrot plant over here. If you look, the flower structure is very similar. Most of the plant is very similar, except it's purple instead of white, but also a carrot. Okay, this is from one of our blue pigmented carrots. And we're just gonna let this grow and grow and hopefully go to seed. So really cool stuff going on with our carrots that are happy in the cold, even if our bananas and lima beans are not. All right, that'll wrap up another episode of the Knudson Garden Update, December 2022. This will be the last garden update of the year, I think. Cool stuff going on. Lima beans getting ready to harvest. Banana tree being hopefully saved by Christmas tree lights and solar panels and some plant protection cloth, as well as some carrot flowers. A lot of cool things going on here. Have a great break. Stay safe. Eat some good food, and we'll see you at the new year.